What is going down, Machinima? My name is TetraNinja, and what I got for you guys today is a team deathmatch on the map Firing Range. And Firing Range is probably one of my most favorite maps in Black Ops, just because of the strategies that I implement and use throughout these games are fairly consistent, and I decided to share them with you guys today. And as you can see with the section highlighted in blue, these are the two main spawn points that you get at the very beginning of the game, and they're fairly close to respawn points as well, but we'll get back to that a little bit later. And just that being said, usually what happens at the very beginning of the game, both spawns just rush each other, and it's all hell breaks loose for the first 5 seconds of a match. But as a lot of you already know, the center of the map is where the baby buffalo roam, to quote Wings of Redemption. And this area highlighted in red with the baby buffalo is the exact area you do not want to stay in at any points or run through at any points of a TDM or any sort of game. What I usually like to do is stay to the outside of the map. I'm sure you guys have all heard that before, but I'm actually going to break it down even further for you guys, in that the route that you take or like to stay in the general areas in which you like to stay in should really reflect your weapon classes and what weapon you're choosing to use for that game. So in this case, if you're using the right hand path next to number 1 trailer next to the firing range, which I've highlighted right here for you guys, I tend to stick with the assault rifles just because it's a pretty long line of sight. In particular, I like using the M-16 if I'm trying to hold down this area. But if I'm trying to take the left hand path towards that barn to the back firing range near the sandbags, then I tend to stick with submachine guns. And in general, if I try to stay within any of the buildings, I try to stick with submachine guns such as the AK-74U. So yeah, that's my general strategies. It's nothing too spectacular or nothing too complicated that you guys wouldn't understand. What I'm going to do next is actually show you guys a lot of the respawn points that happens during this match. And as of right now, the Black Ops respawn points are kind of all over the place. They're kind of unpredictable. So what I always do is I always just assume that people are respawning behind me. So these are the main areas that you just want to focus on. So if you're kind of holding it in between these areas, then just cycle back and forth, and most likely you will run into people trying to flank you from behind. So yeah, that's enough for strategy wise. Let's get right into a gameplay that I recorded for you guys, and I'll explain some of the overall strategies as we go along. So as you can see from my class selection screen, I decided to go with the M16 in this game. And like I said at the very beginning of the video, at the very beginning of each match, both opposite sides tend to rush each other, balls out. But that's not necessarily a bad thing so long as you have the right setup for it. So in this case, you see a lot of clipping going on behind the sandbags and behind those buildings. So you really want to stick with a assault rifle in this case, especially the M16, because it's high powered and it's very precise in its shots. Unlike in Modern Warfare 2, in Black Ops, the SMGs they have a really high range drop off. So when you're dealing with the really long ranges, then most likely you're not going to kill anyone. Best bet scenario, you get some hit markers. So yeah, other than just tossing some semtexes at that very center area or frag grenades, if you're not using an assault rifle, I wouldn't even bother rushing right down that middle section. And as you can see, after I took that shotgun to the face, the spawns had once again switched, and the other team was spawning next to red building between the firing range. And in those cases, although I kind of predicted it and moved towards that area, I pushed a little bit too far up, and in this case I was using an M16 weapon, and without stopping power, in most cases you're not one bursting in this game unless you have host with the M16. And if you're not one bursting up close, then you're gonna get outclassed every single time from an SMG or any fully automatic weapon. And I pushed a little bit further than I should have right here towards this back barn area, and I realized where I was, and the weapon I had wasn't the greatest position-wise, so I decided to push back to get longer lines of sight between this tire area and this pathway right in front of the initial spawn at the very beginning of the game, which is also a major respawn point on this map. And it's pretty much self-explanatory from here. I do exactly what I told you guys at the very beginning of the video. I stayed to the outside. I stayed with long lines of sight, avoided the building just because once again you get outclassed from submachine guns and fully automatic weapons. And that first death in this game was my very last one. So and it's fairly consistent, this strategy, I find. So if you're having trouble with this match, especially in TDM, then I highly suggest giving it a shot. Just respect your weapon, its limitations, and you'll do absolutely fine. And for the rest of this game, I guess I'll explain my class setup just because this early on in the game it's still pretty relevant. So for my first perk, I'm using Hardline Pro, which allows me to get kill streaks 1 kill earlier than normal, and as well allows me to switch off my care package as well, my friends' care packages, just in case we don't enjoy the drop that we get, because most of the time it's just ammo and spy planes and counter spy planes. And for my second perk, I'm using Harden just because, especially on this map, there's a lot of penetration that can go on with your bullets. And as well, in one-on-one gunfights, what the Harden Pro version allows you to do, it allows you to receive less flinch, or your character receives less flinch when he gets shot, so it doesn't throw off your shot as much, and it may make or break you in a one-on-one gunfight. And for my third perk, I'm using Marathon, not Pro yet, just because Ninja, as of right now, even though it's rumored to be patched soon with an update, you really can't hear footsteps that loudly even with Ninja Pro. I had unlocked it this prestige, or this before my first prestige, and it was useless, so I thought Marathon was the most useful. And for my kill streaks, I'm using the spy plane, the care package obviously, because I can join it with Hardline Pro. And as you can see right here, as I'm raping from the sky, I'm using the chopper gunner, which I didn't know this and I didn't use it in this game. You can actually zoom in with your left hand trigger and it makes the reticle travel a little bit faster. So that's just a tip right there. And as well in the gunship, I didn't actually know this till I rewatched one of my videos. You can actually shoot rockets with your left trigger. I was only using the Gatling gun with my gunship. And as you can see right there, I call it my care package. And generally what I like to do is I wait till I either die before I get my last kill streak, or I actually get my last kill streak before I actually call in my care packages, because care packages are like crack in Black Ops, or just as they were in Modern Warfare 2. It just attracts a whole bunch of people, and most likely you'll die, especially you'll die before you can actually grab it, especially on this map, just because the spawns switch so often. And as you can see, I swapped out that counter spy plane, or the counter airplane, for a SAM turret, which is useful if we're running into a lot of air support, but we had a pretty good handle on this team that we're facing, and we really didn't need it. And my friend actually wanted me to grab it so he could work on getting his Hardline Pro. You have to share 10 care packages to get Hardline Pro if you didn't already know. So yeah, the game's about to come to an end right here. The final score is 27-1. Hopefully this video has been somewhat helpful to you guys, and if it has been, please give it a rating. Ratings just help me out and help the video get noticed. And if you enjoy these kind of videos, please come check out my channel. As of right now, I'm doing a lot of tip videos, which seem to be helping a lot of people a lot. So yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you from Machinima for letting me post once again, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.